Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. One of the great mitzvahs that the Yidden are mahader, and perhaps we see how much Yidden go out of their way to spend money and try to fulfill the Zeh Keli V'Amveyu, to beautify the fulfillment of a mitzvah. We see it specifically by the mitzvah of the Daled Minin, the mitzvah of the buying of the esrog, because over there the Torah clearly says, Pri Eitz Hadar. It should be a beautiful, nice, clean esrog, as the Shulchan Aruch says, the different levels, what's kosher b'di'evet, and people go above and beyond the letter of the law and spend just to get a beautiful esrog. So we'll talk about a shaila that's discussed in the Achronim that doesn't really change the look, the beauty of the esrog, yet there's a discussion if it would be considered a kosher esrog. We know that in Yeridea and Simin Kuf Tezayin, the Mechaber, and the Alter Rebbe brings it also in the Shulchan Aruch, the Mechaber mentions that certain food items shouldn't be eaten even if they're kosher because of a ruach ra, a bad spirit comes on it. When there's a bad spirit come on food, so in Shulchan Aruch it says that any food that you put under a bed, under a place where people sleep. Now, incidentally, it's where you sleep, not under a chair where it's not meant to sleep. Even though sometimes people fall asleep on a chair too. If it's a bed and you put food under it, the food that's under it somehow acquires a ruach ra, and it's preferably not to eat it. Bishum sakana. So the question is, which is discussed in Achronim, if a esrog, somebody put the esrog perhaps even in the box and put it under a bed, because we try as much as we could to fulfill that the things that we fulfill the mitzvah should be from dvarim hamutarim, things that are permitted for you. And if it's an eating item, it should be something that you're able to eat. It's a kosher item. Since this is something that you can't eat, perhaps it drops its level of kashrus, at least a level of hider, and this is an esrog that should not be used anymore. So there is this discussion. So in Stei Chemed, Mareches Lamid, Klal Kuf Mem Aleph, he brings many reasons why you don't necessarily have to be makpid in this case, and he applies the pasuk when the pasuk says Shomer Mitzvah, one who keeps mitzvah, a mitzvah layeda davara, won't be affected by the negative. And in this case, what is the whole issue here? That a ruach ra, a bad spirit, fell on the esrog possibly. You're going to use it for a mitzvah, it won't harm you. That is, as it's brought in Stei Chemen, he brings different more reasons, and he also suggests if this ever happens and you want to use this esrog, perhaps dunk it or rinse it into water 3 times just to wash it off. Now, in other Mefarshim, other poskim say that even though, as mentioned before, we try to fulfill a mitzvah min ha'moisa b'ficha, min ha'mutar b'ficha, from items that you're allowed to put in your mouth and eat, and this is something you're not going to eat, but you're not going to eat not because it's prohibited. You're not eating it because there's a sakana. Ein achanami, a sakana is an issue, and chamira sakanta me'isura, it does not yet label this thing disqualified. So therefore, it's still considered min ha'mutar b'ficha, and you're allowed to. Others say that we could bring a proof that, who knows, maybe some of the esrogim, what would be the din if they sprayed, the farmers or the ones who grow the esrogim have sprayed it with a chemical, let's say, and due to the chemical, it's something that's dangerous, you wouldn't be able to eat it. If an esrog would be sprayed with a chemical like that, would it disqualify the esrog? The esrog itself is good, and the esrog itself could taste very, very good too. But the chemical is on it. So he, in certain svarim, and it's brought in Sefer Kashrus Dalaminim, page Ayin Gimel, he says that because most of the times this chemical evaporates, gets lost, so with time, the esrog is back to its regular status, its original status. So even when the chemical is on it, it does not disqualify the esrog from the kosher status, and you could use it to fulfill the mitzvah of esrog.